Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to Watching Walford, the weekly EastEnders podcast where we discuss and review the main storylines of the week, obviously coming from the... I haven't figured out the dates. From
I'll
the
figure it out very quickly.
29th all the
9th
way to the
1st.
1st. We're finally in June, but mentally I've been in June for the last 2 months. And this was obviously Lola's final episode, or final week. We extended our coverage on the channel to at least discuss all these episodes in kind of like initial reactions. So hopefully you enjoyed that kind of stuff. We also released a video talking about who's Jay's mystery friend, which honestly I don't think it'll be anyone like special. But because of that video, I'm fucking hyped up. Like, who's it gonna be? Like it's some secret reveal.
Me.
It's me! There's only one person who could be good enough to be Jay's mate, and that's me. But yeah, so there will be some slightly more somber moments in today's episode. I am full of beans, but I will at least try to cover Lola's death in somewhat sincere way. But before we get into the actual podcast, Piggy, how have you been, mate?
For people who don't know, we're recording this on a Thursday. So like if I'm like not my usual complaining, going on a rant self, it's because like I'm just out of the cinema. I've had popcorn. I'm full of popcorn. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's like me. One thing I realised, the way to have me be happy, just sit me down like a comfy chair with someone I know, and like feed me some Pringles, and I'll just start chilling. Like Pringles are the secret ingredient.
For people who want to know a film I've seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm not going to spoil it because I think it's not better than No Way Home. No Way Home is still... There is just a charm to No Way Home, basically.
Agreed.
Like, you can't replicate... Well, they'll try and replicate it in Secret Wars. For people who don't know, Secret Wars is the second... It'll be the part 2 to... King's Dynasty, basically. Secret Wars is where basically most of the Marvel actors that you know throughout the 2000s and 2010s are basically coming back in this multiverse war. That's not till like 2025, 2026. Basically, that's the entire plot of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's just Miles Morales trying to fit in. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is a fucking great film. Like, I'd recommend it. But if you don't want to watch that, at least watch Spider-Man No Way Home. Because there is just a charm to seeing Tobey Maguire be the Uncle Ben to Tom Holland.
And Andrew Garfield getting his retribution in some form. Getting to like spotlight he was a good Spider-Man and he could still be a good Spider-Man. He just didn't really get the time.
I do love the end scene where he's like, I want to find an alien. The scene that I loved with No Way Home is when like Toby, because I'm just going to refer to him by the actor's name, because if we just say Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3, people who don't watch Spider-Man are going to be so confused. But I love the scene where Toby comes out of the portal, he looks at Andrew and he goes, you're not the Spider-Man I'm looking for, and just webs him.
It's some good stuff. But I suppose, yeah, how was the rest of the week?
The week's been good. I've bought Monty Brown.
Nice.
I made an order on Walmart.
Damn.
I'm skeptical. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, we'll see what happens from here. Oh, I also got my Brian Pillman sunglasses.
Lovely.
I will Google an image for people who don't know what Brian Pillman sunglasses are. They're basically glasses that have a filter on them.
Yeah.
And they basically, you can bring them down and they say screw you on it.
Lovely.
There should be 2 photos on the screen now.
I'm not fucking putting that on there.
No,
Sorry,
you
mate.
fucking are. No, you
Sorry,
fucking
mate.
are. No, this is my podcast too. I dictate what goes on the screen.
The
More
working
work for
conditions I have
me.
to do.
But you hear the sunglasses? I always wanted these.
I will lazily show them right now. Boom. Oh, fuck me that. There we are. Have that for 5 seconds. There you go. That's the picture. I've broken everything. Back to normal.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear them when I go over to England.
Nice.
Anyone try it, you know, if I get that obsessed fans like, Piggy, I'm a huge fan of you. Well, leave me alone, leave me alone. You know that obsessed fan. It's like, oh my god, I love you. I'm watching Walford.
I'm trying to figure out what they would be if they're like, say the line. Say the line, Piggy. I don't even know what either yours or mine would be. I don't think we have enough material to have our definitive line. Mine's just saying fuck you to the Twitter stands at this point.
Mine is fuck you, Lily Slater. Fuck you. I also got an X-ray done on my left foot. For people who don't know, I walk kind of sideways. I forget how you describe feet. Basically, I walk sideways. My foot goes right against the edge of the shoe or boot.
Yeah.
And I basically got my left foot done because they wanted to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. I got very upset in the surgery room.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm just again full of popcorn. I'm barking like mad. Because for people who don't know, they tell you, oh, you need to put your foot this way. You put your foot up, your foot down, side to side, and take all the photographs. When she was doing it, she just got angry with me, and I was like, leave me alone, leave me alone. I'm too fat for this. Leave me alone, I'm too. You're my mother. You're like my mother.
Oh god.
And I don't know if you've ever been on a hospital or like that bed that they make you lie on the blue bed.
Yeah.
I basically went, oh, I can get down now. So I rolled over to like get up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like a turtle at this stage. So I rolled over and went, okay, I can do this. It's only a small one. And then I wobbled and I nearly fell because I didn't judge the height of the ground from the bed.
Like how far away it was, yeah.
Yeah, and then nearly stumbled on my face. But it was a good day. This Thursday, obviously we don't know what Friday's like or Saturday, because we're making Ash. Ash suggested that we both do this. Well, he's full of beans. Beans.
I'm full of beans.
Bald, mean, and full of beans. He's got a Yamaha drum machine.
Exactly.
But yeah, how has your week been?
It's been alright, to be honest. It's mostly just been covering EastEnders so far. Obviously, being introduced into the Twitterverse, I've realised that it's very easy to get likes if you just say Ben is good, and Suki is a gem. That's mostly how it works. But I want to make an announcement here. I'm going to be putting my Tony Khan hat on. I'm going to be making an announcement for my fellow Watching Walfords. We will be watching Love Island on the 5th of June at 9 o'clock on Twitch. I think Twitch. Ash might want to do YouTube. Nah, we'll be on Twitch.
And we will be watching the Soap Awards on the 6th on YouTube. That one I want to do on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you can basically follow us watching Love Island throughout week 1. We might watch week 2. We probably won't watch week 3. And then we'll hate each other by week 4.
Yeah, see, the main issue is with Love Island, you have to get through week 1. And then week 2, you start to like him a little bit. And then week 3, shit breaks out because they have to like recouple, and then someone gets fucking betrayed. Someone like decides, I'm gonna snog you instead. It's fucking chaos, mate. If it's your first time and you've always wanted to watch it, it's got a bad stigma. It is trashy reality TV, and there's a reason why it's so fun. So yeah, go ahead and watch that on the Twitch.
Is it like Jersey Shore, or is it more trashy?
I'll be honest, mate, I can't accurately describe it. So we'll just have to wait and see, as will you, the viewer. Like I said, take any of your preconceived opinions about Love Island, chuck it in the bin, and just grab a beer or something, just sit back, have a good time, because it's fucking wild shit. But yeah, anyways, I think otherwise, yeah, it's purely this week's been about covering Watching Walford, and I've enjoyed all the videos we've done, and we also have a video coming out next week, I believe. It is what characters would you like to see return. It's about half an hour of a 1 hour 30 recording session, where we divulge into some of our favourite characters and who we actually want to see return. Piggy, if you want to give a slightly non-spoilery, name one character you mentioned as to who you'd want to return.
The ashtray, the header.
It was a photo frame.
Oh, was it a photo frame? I thought it
Yes.
was an ashtray.
No, an ashtray
Well,
killed. Steve Owen killed someone with an ashtray.
Oh, I see. But yeah, we basically started a new series. People probably, Ash might not want this to be told publicly, but I'm just going to say it. We started a new series called The Walford on Tap, where we talk about everything that happened in Walford each day, Monday to Thursday. And then I went, look, Ash, if we do that, we're both going to drain ourselves out, and what's also going to happen is we're going to run out of material for the podcast. And then he went, yeah, okay, sure, yeah, good idea.
Well,
I'll just go cry.
I spent a bit of time like, what if I just fully committed all the time to Watching Walford? And then I live tweeted and went, fuck me, I can't deal with the Twitter stance. Still doing the live tweeting, but hoy. It's a wild west.
Plus, I like watching them all in one bunch. I don't like watching Monday, then watching Tuesday, then watching Wednesday, and then Thursday.
Yeah.
I like watching them all in one sitting, because then you get all the emotions.
Yeah.
But I only watch in order, or not in order. I watch them daily when a big week happens.
Yeah.
Like Lola's final week or final
Exactly.
few days. She was only there for 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, technically 4, but that happened on Wednesday's episode, so that doesn't really count. And if you say it does, fuck you.
Alright. So no, we will not be doing Walford on Tap daily. As it's too much effort, and like we said, we gotta have material for the podcast. But more bonus videos will be on the way. I've kicked my ass into gear, and we'll be making a bunch more bonus content for you. But regardless,
It's also but for people who are long-time Ash fans, we are also rebooting SAD. So we will also be discussing Pokemon, and we will also be rebooting the Aqua Dreams brand. We will be both streaming Simpsons Hit and Run, both streaming at the same time. So yeah, look forward to that. We will also be doing hot tub streams on Aqua Dreams, and waxing ourselves and waxing our bollocks.
It's quite possibly one of the most self-indulgent things I've ever heard told about me, and nobody's going to understand, so that's perfectly fine. But we will be streaming on Twitch, doing the Love Island and any like soap-related stuff will be on the YouTube channel. So make sure to follow us on Twitch. We got some fancy alerts and all that stuff. But regardless, what topics are we going to be talking about today? Well, it's a bit more brief of topic-wise. Obviously, we've live reacted to a bunch of it, so there's not really many notes. It's a lot more like just gut instinct. We'll be talking about Phil and Honey's partnership, which was a fun little bit. of Monday's episode, I believe. No, Tuesday's episode.
Tuesday.
We'll obviously be talking about Lola's death, and then the Lola's death aftermath, and we'll be talking about the knights finally arriving to the square. Some would say too soon, but I'd say fuck off.
Can we also talk about the female stand that Kim had?
I hope not.
Okay, please talk about her.
No.
Dear Kim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. And let me phone up with a page. I might eat that at the bottom. Fuck it, man. What's been up? I heard you're having a daughter.
We're talking about something a little bit lighter. It's the Phil and Honey partnership, which nobody expected that they needed, but now I'm left wanting for more. So Piggy, in your favourite scene of Monday's episode, Phil surprised Honey with a question. And what was that question, Piggy?
You wanna go for tea?
Okay, great impression. So yeah, obviously Phil and Honey have never really seen eye to eye, especially during all of the Keeble stuff, where Phil was genuinely about to send Honey down. Oh no, Phil was genuinely about to send Billy down for murder that he didn't commit. And Honey's always stood up to Phil, but in Monday's episode, as Piggy said one more time,
You wanna go for tea?
exactly.
And
they actually
Triple H. I don't know why he's Triple H.
and they had a genuine conversation where Phil was genuinely like, listen, alright, for all the bad stuff I caused you, I am sorry. And how are you doing? How are you coping? And then this partnership extended, as in Monday's episode, Billy smashed up Nish's shop as Nish was being an absolute prick the whole time. And the way that Honey tried to get him out of it was first, she pled, like, please let him out. He went, nah, Batman. And then she just threw a fucking coffee over him. Lovely stuff. And then threatened to out Suki if she didn't make him change his mind. Which, as a basis, not really on, but as we've discussed in previous videos, it's fucking life or death, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It was.
Like, nobody wants to get outed by anyone else if they're not ready for it. But fundamentally, Lola was dying. So, you know, death and taxes and all that.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Phil and Honey partnership, Biggie?
Loving it. I want to see more of it.
Like, I'm not saying Phil should give Honey like a bigger prestige job, other than doing the market. But like, you know, get Honey involved in like the businesses or whatever. Like, give her like a better spot in the Mitchell Empire. That's all I'm saying.
Make her the referee for the boxing matches.
Just have her run something. I'm sure Phil's got some business that he doesn't like to do. But yeah, obviously, slightly more. Not really too much to say about that. As, like we said, we've discussed the bulk of these topics in the episodes released on the daily. So watch those if you want our in-depth thoughts. But let's continue to obviously the main bit of the week. It's Lola's death, and it's how we felt about it, and proceeding afterwards, the aftermath. So it was pretty sad scenes this week, Piggy, as we slowly saw the degradation of Lola and just saw her go from last week where she was in Margate on the beach and they were having callbacks to when they were young and in love and together, and now she can barely utter 2 words. It was a pretty rough couple days in the show, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was. it is tragic because it'll always go back to real life. I'm not because people tend to take these shows serious. Some people don't. Really up to you. I don't care if you take it serious or not, as long as you're enjoying it and not hate watching it. Because if you're hate watching anything, fuck you and get a better life.
Yeah, it does
Because
sound shit, doesn't it?
yeah, because like you have to realize, hey, what I understand I'm going off on a rant, but I just want to say it before I get into it. Like hate watching EastEnders, like mate, you could solve cancer, but you rather like talk shit. Like I understand I'm on to talk, but at least I'm making fun of the actors. I'm not saying the actors should fuck off and jump off a bridge. But some people take this shit too serious. Like at least we're having fun. I know I say fuck off Lily Slater, but I don't mean it. She's a child.
Exactly.
She doesn't. Like I'm saying it to the character,
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
person. It's like when someone says Chris Benoit was a good wrestler. They're saying the wrestler, not the person. It's like saying Jimmy Savile was a great TV presenter. Great TV presenter, not a great person. Although people disagree with that one because people say he did great charity, but you know you can't.
Some say the children didn't. They didn't like his TV work. Thought he was a bit too hands-on.
Yeah, I heard he helped the child's dream come true by milking a cow while blindfolded.
Tremendous. Anyways, always goes to two horrific people. Every single time.
I also forgot to mention that I was in a cafe on the day of recording. I was in a cafe at like 1 o'clock, and there was a song that played on the radio, and my dad goes, son, and I go, what? This is Philip Schofield's song. And I mean, what do you mean? And the chorus comes up and it goes, don't let your son go down on me. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Banger. That joke was too good that it honestly sounds like you made up the whole thing, but I believe
no, it's true. It actually happened. I was sitting there eating a tuna melt sandwich, and then my dad just goes, "Oh, listen to the chorus."
Back me.
But
yeah. Before we get derailed anymore, carry on.
It's Daniel Harlot or Harlow. I don't know how you pronounce her last name. Harold, like Gerald Harold.
Yeah.
She played great, I must say. Like you actually felt like that she had cancer.
Yeah.
Unlike most actors, like Zach, who would just half-ass
smiling in the middle.
Like you know when she has her eyes closed. Imagine Zach doing that with the eyes closed. He's just smiling.
I suppose
like a dog.
It's an sorry to cut you off, but it's an interesting way because EastEnders said, and they've been talking about it, that they made history by not giving her like the classic soap death. Like when Pat Butcher died, all her family was like, oh yeah, Pat, you know, we've never seen eye to eye, but I still love you. And they had that big, like, sentimental moment. But there was none of that with Lola. They tried, but she was just too far gone to even, like, speak words. So it was an interesting portrayal. I think, I don't know about you, maybe it's because I haven't had somebody pass like this, that it not being the like soap version where it's like, oh yeah, I love you, you'll take care, and then she just dies in like some peaceful way. Because it wasn't like insanely soapified, I didn't really rate the death as much as I would have otherwise.
See, for someone like me who has obviously seen this dead in real life, you know, where when my nanny died, we of course went, hey Google, play Julia's theme, and we all looked up to the sky as the credits rolled. And my nanny's there laughing in the coffin.
Yeah.
I can relate to this death because it's much nicer seeing someone in pain, leave
someone
knowing
like
no longer in pain.
being relieved of that pain, like she's no longer suffering.
Actually, what made me laugh about the weather last year when my nanny passed, it was like very dark, And the minute she passed, just started pissing rain. I was like, Jesus, Nanny, who did you piss off?
I suppose it's also a bit of the episode, as the episode played a lot more with the cinematography. Everything was shot in this really dim, like, kind of, almost like, fuck me, my PC monitor's too dark, I can't see anything. And obviously people have taken it in, like, symbolic ways, like, it's all dark because Lola's hurting and it was windy, but the second she dies, you know, light shone in, the wind has stopped, everybody's seeing light because Lola's no longer suffering. But it was... The thing that also didn't help is they absolutely nailed the comic relief in that episode too. And I was laughing too hard to truly appreciate the like cause you had Reese and Sonia just like she like I think Sonia said something like yes, and she looked like she's doing great, and Sonia's like, that's the morphine. It's just like nurse fucking gallows humor. Like, I suppose just to go through how that episode kind of went. Obviously there was this theme with clocks and, you know, like time, as we kind of got to see, like, through the hours how people responded. Phil struggled and couldn't say goodbye, thought about Benny and, like, said, hey mum, like, take care of her, which was quite sweet. Obviously Ben wasn't there because Ben fled to America to try find this miracle cure that he didn't find. And obviously you got to see Lexi and Jay kind of struggle with being there and, like, experiencing that, like, passing together. And obviously Billy and Honey, but regardless. And at that point, you know, Jay, like, gets up for like 5 minutes, he washes his face, kind of like talks himself down, and as the light shines on in, Lola is just stopped moving and finally passed away. She got the Julia's theme, the well-deserved Julia's theme, and Jay and Lexi, like, held her as they both kind of just sobbed. Yeah. Like I said, I this may just be me, like, maybe this is just a part of the autism, but there was a lot of, it just didn't connect. Like, I was sad the whole storyline. The whole time she was dying, like last week I nearly tried, the Margate episode was really sweet and I'm like, this is amazing. But the final episode just didn't make me cry and I'm kind of sad about that. I feel like I betrayed, like, the actors for not doing that. Alright, I suppose. If you do want to see our coverage of Lola's death, we did a live stream and we made a video of the aftermath. But speaking of that, let's go ahead and talk about how everybody reacted on the Thursday episode. As, you know, it's not all sunshine and roses. So, how do people actually recover from someone dying? Well, Lola got taken away in a, I don't know, black car, maybe a hearse. I don't know if there's not really a coffin yet, but regardless. Obviously, Jay was struggling like there was no tomorrow, and Ben arrived just as she was being carted away, and Ben had a very Ben response. Jay gave him shit, saying Lexi needed you and you weren't there. And all of the Ballum stans are going to be like, Ben, he's just so misjudged, you know. Listener, Ben thought he was doing the right thing, but everybody knew it wasn't the right idea. And we also get to see how Lexi and Ben actually maybe make up. I don't know, how did you take for Ben's surprise re-entrance?
Um, a lot of Ballum fans are going to be happy, but I personally didn't want him back.
Yeah, when he left, I was like, oh, sick, he's gone. Give him like a month away. He'll get back and he'll stop being as annoying. But no, he's back and he's gonna be suffering. And it's gonna be a shame, but I'm not gonna care because I'm tired of the fucking character. Obviously, George Knight appeared. We'll get into that a little bit later. Helped Ben and Lexi actually sort their differences. They had a big hug, and now it seems like Ben's taking his responsibilities serious. And the other main hilarious part of Thursday's episode was Billy and Honey sat in the middle of the square, just like, yeah, we should shout, so maybe we'll get it out. We'll get all this emotion out. Just like, it's not fair. Just screaming it in the middle of the square. And they both start crying, and they share an embrace. And it was quite sweet. But also, once again, more portrayals of grief. But I don't know how. It felt like it did take a bit of a back seat, I would say. Or at least in my eyes. So, what do you think? How much did you reckon we actually got of the?
We didn't get much of the aftermath. They didn't show us much.
Yeah, and honestly, some people might suggest that maybe it wasn't the right time to bring in a new family directly after Lola's death. But also, when an event like this kind of takes the life out of the show, you need that like defib to like shock you back in it and go, all right, I'm hooked again, you know? Like, because it's hard to see someone die in a soap, because most people who watch soaps have been watching soaps for years. And so you've seen this character over multiple years, and, you know, they've kind of, not saying they've become like a friend to you, but, you know, like, they are a figment in your imagination. You're like, I know Lola, I know what she's like, I know what she's done. And you have these feelings, like, built up over time. And, like, you get familiar with them. And then when they suddenly die, you know, it's like somebody actually died. Like, that impact is felt. So you needed a dose of EastEnders again. You know, you needed that energy. As if they didn't, Thursday's episode would have been fucking miserable.
I agree with that.
But I suppose, as this has been a busy week and we've extended our coverage, let's segue to the final topic. The Knights arrive on June the 1st. Like I said, almost like revitalizing a rather tired EastEnders audience. So, the episode most predominantly featured famous boxer George Knight, brick shithouse, and overall nice guy. Introduced himself to pretty much everyone, was charming left and right. Most of the men's like, oh fucking hell, you seen that guy? That's fucking George Knight, man, I seen him fucking knock a guy out with 2 pickles and a fucking bit of 1p coin. You know, just absolutely marvelled by him. How did you find the entrance of George Knight?
I loved it. I think it was great. Great way to show a character.
And they showed a character as he had so much. I don't know about you, but he had so much like presence. Like he came across as like this like strong, like powerful man. And even the way like they shot things, because the actors, he's not a small bloke. The way they shot it, he could be fucking 6'5" for all I fucking know. He looked massive.
He did.
And he helped Ben and Lexi see eye to eye. He spoke to Phil and kind of even made Phil a little bit starstruck, which buckled me to no end. Because Phil doesn't fanboy for anyone, but he fanboyed for George Nightmare Night.
He did.
And, he also played a bit peacemaker, made sure Elaine and Linda were kind of seeing eye to eye, trying to be like, listen, alright, you needed us, and we're here to help save your business. This is a family, whether you like it or not. And he also, fucking took Nish down a notch, because the amazing confrontation where he talks to Nish and goes, so I hear you like to threaten women. Well, how about me and you outside right now? And looks at him dead in the fucking eyes for a solid 10-20 seconds and then goes, just kidding. And I'm not saying you could see Nish fucking quiver in his little boots, but he was absolutely fucking shitting himself.
He was.
And what else went down? Well, the Night Sisters arrived, Gina and Anna, as well as Tyson, the little chihuahua looking thing. Like I said, nobody slander Tyson. He is the best. Had two amazing lines. Obviously, Anna is the dumb one, as they were like, is this like your nan on the Vic? Because they have the Queen Victoria bust. And then she went, no, that's Queen Victoria. And then Anna went, your gran's Queen Victoria. Absolutely ruined me. I genuinely burst out laughing. I was picking up what the Knights were putting down. They also brought music and Ibiza vibes to a pub that was full of grieving people. They were playing music, and then Ollie's like, I don't know what's going on, because Ollie's autistic. Linda came in like, he's autistic, you fucking pricks, turn that off. And then Anna went, bless. She didn't know what that word meant. She still doesn't know what the word meant. And fucking phenomenal stuff. But they also left some clues. Some pretty interesting clues, I'd say so. Obviously, our friends over at Talking Walford, I say our friend at Talking Walford, suggested a theory the other day that when Cindy Beale is going to return, she's going to return, and it's going to be revealed that her kids are Gina and Anna, and that she used to be either married or at least partnered with George Knight. Obviously, it's suggested that she was went undercover or had to fake her own death to live a life away from being hunted by this crime family. Obviously, go watch the Talking Walford's video about it. It's a really good one. And this led her to George Knight, where she had a family. And, he mentioned a couple things you never know when just the mentioning word of ghost and a surprise by a ghost and, fresh start. And George also mentioned how, he's never felt anything since, the last time. That could have been Cindy. And obviously Anna carried around this little box of, her mum's things. And they kind of went, don't tell George. So there's clearly some, crossed wires. And it'll be a way for the show to actually send some shockwaves through the square, as if she's somehow familyed up with the Knights, who are in the Vic, which is the heart of the square. It'll actually shake some shit up. I suppose, Piggy, do you want to yell at Reddit for getting angry at these new characters?
No, I let you do that. I'm just people who probably can tell I'm just scrolling eBay at the moment.
Do you run a podcast?
Leave me alone, I'm full of popcorn.
Well, I suppose. How do you think the Knights came across? How do you like the new family?
Yes.
All right, come on, gonna get a little bit more out of you than that.
I love the new family there. There's a lot of good things for them. I hope they just don't get one storyline and then for the next 6 years, and then the actors like, I want to leave the show, and they're like, well, George will kill you off, and he's like, I just want a break, guys. I just want a break. And they're like, yeah, but we can kill you off. And then they kill him off, and then 5 years after that, he's like, I want to come back, and they're like, well, we killed you off. I just hope it doesn't end up like that. I see a lot of promise in the sisters. People are obviously going to compare them to Roxy and Ronnie, even though I'm not. I'm not going to compare them to Roxy and Ronnie. Roxy and Ronnie didn't have a dog called Tyson, so suck on them eggs.
I also say that Roxy and Ronnie were a bit more adult than these two. These two seem like very young. So, yeah, I suppose. Fuck it. Don't worry, Piggy. I'll take back the microphone. You can continue scrolling eBay. I really enjoyed this episode, and I really enjoyed the inclusion of the Knights. People have suggested that maybe it's not the right time to bring in new characters, you know. Lola just died. Let's give it some more time. But I strongly believe that this is the right time to, as I said before, like, re-inject that energy, re-inject that life into the show. A big change, which obviously people don't like. They get a little bit nervous with change, which is ironic because I'm the autistic one and I'm embracing the change. But I enjoyed the dynamic between the Knight sisters. You can obviously tell that Anna's the more dumb one, and Gina is probably very protective of her sister. And Anna, I'm not saying Anna will probably get taken advantage of, and like somebody will like take her for granted and treat her bad. But also, I can imagine Gina being like, "Don't you fuck with my sister," you know. Like being that like really protective sister. I'm slightly worried that George is gonna have a bit of a dark side. Just because, you know, he made a call like, I can't answer this right now. And, you know, somebody mentioned like, oh yeah, I've seen him beat someone within an inch of their life. And Elaine doesn't seem to know his like violent past. So I'm slightly worried that he will end up being fucking dead on the Christmas floor. Did you get any of those vibes, Piggy?
No, not really. I think it'll be a good addition. I don't think it'll be killed off at Christmas, simply because he's just a new character.
Yeah, but I'm slightly worried because he's been given such a big, explosive entrance. And so far seems like not squeaky clean. He seems very like refined. He's come across as like a very nice, interesting character, but there's always the cracks with soap characters. And I'm wondering when the facade's gonna slip. Like imagine if Cindy comes back and obviously it's gonna bring back a lot of memories, you know. And maybe it'll completely fuck with him and like the past will haunt him. But it could, I had my overthinking brain on with this episode, so maybe he just stays. I would love to see it though. The actor did a phenomenal job of coming across as a really cool like East End gentleman, you know? Like really characterized himself well. And I still love Elaine. I think she's an important matriarch character. I think both her and George are gonna be the ones to bring out the actual like sentimental, warm side to Gina and Anna. But I also get excited over the little Bobby and Freddie, both seeing them and being like, oh my god, attractive woman. Bobby did this little shitty wave that buckled me beyond belief, and then Freddie's like, Bob, I need to see that wave, mate. I need to see what, like, come on, just do it, mate. And they like giggled and walked away. It's delicious. It's lovely stuff. But obviously people didn't like it because the new characters and it's a bit too soon. And I disagree, but fundamentally, that's the best thing about soap, is we can all have different opinions, but we're all united together because we all enjoy the show. So regardless, I think it's time we segue away to the final thoughts and even the award show. So Piggy, as a week, how do you reckon it came across?
One of the best weeks in EastEnders, I want to say.
Like this year?
Yeah, this year.
Okay, fair enough. I'd agree.
A lot happened.
Yeah.
A lot didn't happen. George Knight appeared and knocked out Lola.
Down for the count.
Yeah, she wants to do that anymore. So yeah, that was fun. It was also fun I can't think of words now. It was also fun to see a new matriarchy come to the square.
Yeah.
It was fun to see a new dog because the English bulldog is gone.
Yeah, Lady Di's gone.
Poor Lady Di. It's going to be great for next week. Next week we see a lot of new stuff happening. I know we do every week, but next week is a bit.
All I've seen about next week is some Suki and Eve stands get excited as Eve hides in a cupboard or something.
Oh, the old Jewish method.
Alright, Piggy, back in the wheelchair. Wes, can you back into the care home? We've all had a drink here.
I'm that granddad who says, I don't hate the gays, but I don't think they should have a month.
But
it is Pride Month. It's the third day of Pride.
Indeed. Time to announce that I'm actually very gay. No, of course not. I'd announce that any other month. I'm asexual, you losers. Don't get excited. Don't start shipping me and Piggy together. Come on. Have some decency.
Oh, do ship us, but make sure it's a seal. Make sure Asher's a seal, and make sure I'm a pig.
That sounds grotesque, I'll be honest, mate.
Exactly, that's why I wanted.
I suppose we don't really need to do awards this week, just because, let's send off this podcast with just a bit more of a heartfelt tribute to Lola, the character. As, we do, as much as we will joke saying the actors are shit, fundamentally, we're here to critique the characters. We're here to take the piss out of the characters and what they do. We aren't like fucking, I'm not here with like 20 years of teaching under my belt or like 20 years of acting. I don't know shit about acting. I can make shit up. I can imagine what it's like. But fundamentally, we're here to take the piss out of these in-story characters. Because that's part of the fun. That's what we see. So I think from both of us at Watching Walford, we just want to thank Danielle Harold for doing such a good job with this Lola storyline. A storyline that I think everybody thought, like, everybody just was scratching their head like, I don't really know if I agree. Like, what? Why is Lola dying? Why is she getting cancer? And I don't think anybody expected it to really go as far as it did and be as impactful as it was. So I think everybody felt about Lola, it was fairly weak. I don't think Lola was anybody's favourite character.
No.
And by the end, you know, like, most people just cried, just outright, just in tears. Because they did such an amazing job at doing this, like, beautiful cancer storyline, seeing the effects on everybody else around her. And we just have to give all of the credit in the world to the writing team at EastEnders and all of the actors who did the story justice. It'll probably win a couple awards at the Soap Awards, and it definitely deserves to do so. Thank you, Lola Pearce Brown. Thank you, Daniel Harold. Piggy, any final words to the Lola character?
I want some Julia's theme playing and images of her across the screen now.
Yeah,
if that's all right.
It'll be happening.
I just want to say thank you. It's been a pleasure doing this podcast. Sorry I've been sleepy. I feel like I'm high at the moment.
Just to cover my ass, Piggy suggested this, by the way. It wasn't my, I just went along with the idea. Like, Piggy went, we can record the podcast now, and I went, fuck it, I'm full of beans.
I thought it was a good idea at the start. It was like the bag of popcorn I had.
Yeah.
It was a good idea at the start, and then
halfway through you went, fuck.
Fucking bullshit. Jesus. That was 5 of them.
But, yeah. We have been watching Walford, and this has been the first, like, proper death of the show. I hope everybody's enjoyed our coverage of it and have enjoyed the extra videos we've made. And it was definitely the right decision to make, and definitely I'm much happier knowing that we have at least somewhat tried to do the story justice and appreciate the characters for what they've done over the course of this storyline. So yeah, I have been Ash from Watching Walford, and I've been joined by Piggy.
I have been Piggy, resigning from where have I been resigning from? From George Knight's hat.
Is a very lovely hat.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, thank you for watching Walford with us. And obviously make sure to check out the Twitch channel Monday, and check out the YouTube channel, the live stream section on Tuesday, as that's when the Soap Awards is. Maybe I'm mixing up the dates. Let's get this accurate. Yeah, Monday 5th we're watching Love Island on Twitch. Tuesday 6th we're watching the British Soap Award at 8 PM on the YouTube channel. Make sure to go ahead and indulge. If you want to follow us anywhere, follow us on Twitter at Watching Walford. Follow us on Instagram at Watching Walford. Is there anything else to plug before we say our farewells, Piggy?
Follow us again on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch.
Exactly.
And not Facebook.
Not Facebook. Fuck Facebook. Shite. It's absolute shite.
So yeah. It's been a fun episode. Sorry I've been tired, guys. Yeah. Julius, Ash is on the keyboard playing Julius' theme.
Exactly.
As we fade out, let's look up at the sky at the credits. As the sun blares in, as we both cry over Lola's dead body.